Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we're right in the middle of our unit on project management and time management, how to be on schedule, part 4. Today we're going to go over the homework if you've done it, make sure I'll answer your questions, and then we're going to move on to business communication, working on key expressions that you can use when catching up with a colleague and trying to figure out where you are with the project you've been working on. So that's a bit about the class. Hopefully everything's working. I had some problems with the Hangout. Let me just ask, can everyone see me and hear me? Because I think we had some problems with the Hangout earlier today. So let's just make sure everything's okay. Maybe I should restart the Hangout because I don't see anyone. Maybe it's not working. Okay, hello, hello. No, not getting any answers, so maybe there's a problem. Okay, I'm just going to restart the Hangout and I'll join it again. If you come in here, oh, maybe it's working now. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Can everyone see me? Jason, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, so I hear you.
Okay, good. I thought there was a problem with the Hangout. Okay, good, good, good. So I'm going to skip my introduction and jump right into the unit. Did you have any trouble getting in class? Was there any trouble entering the Hangout today?
No.
No? All right. It's because the classes are like fully booked, but I don't see anyone else. So I'm just trying to figure out where everyone is. That's all. I thought maybe there was a problem. All right, let's give them a few minutes. Oh, here we go. Okay, now they're coming in. There we go. All right. So as people are arriving, I'll just quickly pick up where we left off. Oh, Jason, did you see the corrections of the writing that I sent you?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay, a good way to review the writing is first go back to your original text and underline everything that I changed so that you can really force yourself to see where I made changes. That would be the first thing that I would do, just to really see the connection. Then what I would do is, if I were you, I would write the text again from memory and see how many of the changes you were able to incorporate in the new text. In other words, you don't have to memorize my text, but what I would suggest is that you see the changes and then in a day or two write it again and then see how many of the changes you're able to remember and to use. It's a way to kind of force yourself to pick up some of the new vocabulary and some of the corrections. Does that make sense, what I'm suggesting?
Yes.
Yeah, is that clear? Okay. All right. Well, I don't know where the other 8 people are. Giuseppe, did you have any trouble entering the Hangout?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe everyone's just sleeping. Christian's here. That's okay. Hi, Christian. How are you? Hello, Christian. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I hope the same. I hope you are as well.
I am. Are you the same Christian with a different picture? Because yesterday there was Christian, but not with that picture.
Yes, I'm the same person.
Oh, okay, all right. Because when you change your picture, I get confused. Okay, so we're going to get started. First of all, just a quick review of what we've done. How to be on schedule. We've been talking about project management. We learned two sets of keywords, some vocabulary to help you, collocations, particularly, in other words, verb with verb patterns. And we're going to be asking for and giving an update, particularly when you're catching up with a colleague. We'll be making and responding to suggestions about the project progress. And then finally, towards the end of the unit, we're going to be revising verb tenses, the ones that we need to use to talk about what we've been doing. So what we have done with the present perfect and what we did with the simple past. We'll revise those, make sure that it's clear when to use them in an advanced way. Today, we're doing business communication skills, as you can see. We'll be working on giving updates. Okay? And whoops, sorry about that. Just lost my, there we go. There we go. Sorry, I just lost my presentation, but it's back. All right. It's awfully quiet in here today. We've got the class fully booked, but I don't see anyone, so I hope there's no problems with the Hangout, because there should be 9 people. So, but if none of you had problems getting in, then I guess everything's okay. Let me just ask a question before we begin. Did any of you have a chance to do the homework that I sent, the exercises yesterday?
I'm sorry, I can't. I couldn't.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to know if there were any questions from the homework.
No, it's fine.
Maybe Giuseppe, you did.
I did it this morning.
You are excellent student, always.
Were there any questions, Giuseppe?
Oh, it's pretty obvious the answers.
Okay, all right. If there's no questions, we're not going to go over it in class because I do put the answers on the last page. But yeah, it's just to give you some extra practice with the vocabulary. Well, I guess we're just going to begin. I don't know where everyone is. It's weird that we've had 9 people every day, and then today suddenly we're missing a lot of people. So I don't know what's going on. Is there a holiday somewhere? Is something going on that I don't know about? All right, so let me just open my material on my computer as well, and we will get started. Hold on one second for that. One moment, please. Okay. Well, asking for and giving an update, making and responding to suggestions. It asks us to read the context. You're going to see this on the next page. Read the context, then listen to part 1 of a meeting and make some notes about the items on the meeting agenda. All right. Jason, you were the first in the class. Why don't you read the context for us, and then we'll talk about it as a class, make sure it's clear. Could you read that for us, please?
Okay. The Tech Tariff project is a collaboration between MMT Tech, service provider, and Unvicon, mobile phone manufacturer. The aim is to launch a high-tech phone with new advanced features from Unvicon in combination with MMT Tech's new tariff, which includes free video phoning and multimedia message services. Sarah and Michelle from MMT Tech and Jan from Unvicon are meeting to discuss the progress of the project.
Just one word. The name is Ian in English.
Yep.
Ian. The guy's name. Michelle and, see it at the bottom?
Ian.
Ian, right. Ian. Just that. Okay. So that's a lot. There's a lot of technical, and so there's too many MMT Tech. There's too many names here. What's the gist here? What's the purpose of the meeting, everyone? Well, what are we trying to do in this meeting? Let's start there. Class, what's the purpose of the meeting that you got from this?
company is going to launch a high-tech phone. So so the aim of the meeting is having a suggestion about the project. I don't know.
Okay, very good. So
No?
maybe sounds okay. Yeah, sounds okay to me. Would you add, Jason, Deppy? Would you add
To discuss the progress of the project. Yeah.
to discuss the project, to discuss the progress? Okay, sounds good. So, give me just a second here. As always, let me just move on. Yeah, okay, we're going to start here. As always, I'm going to have you listen first. But on Yuki's request, I also included a transcript so that you'll be able to read the second time. But the first time I want you just to listen to the conversation. Use your ears, practice extensive listening, meaning that you listen for the general idea, okay? And then we'll see how the meeting went, but I'll give you a chance to cheat and read it when we read it a second time. It's there at the end of the presentation. So I'll say who's speaking. You listen. It's a little bit long. Give me just a second here. Oh, there's Adele. Okay, I was getting worried. I was thinking that maybe people couldn't join us. Okay, so Adele, thanks for joining us. Are you there?
Yes, hello.
Adele, we missed you in the last class. You came and then you disappeared.
Yes, because I have a problem, a work problem. I need to disconnect. Disconnect.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, your real life doesn't matter, Adele. All that matters is English class. Don't leave us. Adele, this is what we're going to do. We're listening to a meeting. We're listening for the general idea first. The second time we listen to it, we're going to pick out some key expressions which we'll use for asking and giving an update, and you'll have a chance to read it at that point as well. Okay? So listen first. Here goes the meeting. I guess it's those three people you see in the picture. Sarah. Okay, I've sent you a proposed agenda yesterday. Have you had a chance to look at it? Ian. Yes, it looks fine. Sarah. So the purpose of today is to update each other on progress and consider anything that might affect our schedule. Ian. Okay. Sarah. So, Michelle, why don't you start? How are things with the marketing department? Michelle. Up to now, the launch date has been set for the 15th of November to capture the Christmas trade. This means we must meet our deadlines. Sarah. Good point. So how's the advertising campaign coming along? Michelle. That's fine. We've set a realistic schedule and planned in a bit of extra time in case the printing takes longer than expected. Sarah. Great. How far are you with the preparations for the launch party? Michelle. Our events manager says we're on track. He booked the venue 2 weeks ago, and I've already received offers from various catering companies. I haven't made a final choice yet, but most of them are well within our budget. Sarah. That sounds good, Michelle. Thanks. So, Ian, how does your side of things look? Ian. Well, actually, things aren't running as smoothly as I'd hoped. We've hit a problem with the handset battery life. Sarah. Oh? So what do you mean exactly? Ian. Well, in some cases, the battery can run out in 6 hours if its key features are in permanent use. Michelle. So what you're saying is we're about to launch a new revolutionary low-cost mobile phone and its battery only lasts 6 hours? Ian. Well, obviously that's an extreme case, but the engineers have identified that there is a basic design problem with the battery. Sarah. So the real problem lies with the battery manufacturers. Ian. Yes, it does. Michelle. But Ian, what about our deadlines? Can this problem be resolved? Ian. Well, our engineers are looking into it, and if it's flexible, they'll do it, but they'll need time. We may have to reschedule, Michelle. But we can't postpone the launch at this stage. There must be something you can do. Sarah, are there any alternatives, Ian? Ian, well, I've got some suggestions, but you may not like them. Sarah, Ian, you've put us in a difficult position. Why don't we get another coffee and then look at our options? Wow, tension in the meeting. So, generally, how did this meeting go and what was discovered, generally speaking?
Meeting with about the project. Michelle is reporting the situation. Sarah is listening. First half of meeting is detached of report by Michelle. It is very favorable, positive result. But second half of meeting, Michelle, they discussed about the problem. Problem is mostly about battery life and the schedule. So
what was the problem? What was the problem there? You
problem is that the battery is long too short, so it new products it low cost and high quality, high advanced telephone. But it has a very short time of battery.
We call that battery life, a short battery life.
Only 6 hours last. Second problem is that the schedule project is not on schedule, so they have to, so Michelle said we have to reschedule, but Sarah is against the plan. She was angry.
Well, Ian kind of wants to reschedule, I think, and both of them are angry, both Sarah and Michelle. Michelle is particularly angry. But I think it's Ian who suggests rescheduling.
Michelle suggests the rescheduling of the rescheduling because he think company have to look the situation into flexible. So
the company has to
look into the schedule more flexibly.
More flexibly. Okay, very good. Let me just ask a few particular questions before we move on. Jason, do you remember? Did you pick up the actual launch date from listening one time?
Yes.
What was the launch date that you heard?
15 November.
Very good. The 15th of November is correct. Giuseppe, what about the advertising campaign? In the update that you heard, what was mentioned about the advertising campaign? Did you pick up any details about it?
I pick up that Michelle is said up to now the things are going. I can't remember the last part. I got the expression our things with the marketing.
Well, has the advertising campaign begun, or is it about to begin, from what you heard? What do you think?
It seems that if I'm right, they have a realistic schedule, regarding the advertising marketing.
That's true. They have she said they have a realistic schedule. and extra time had been planned as well. That's true. And about the advertising campaign, have they begun it, from what you heard? Have they already started the advertising?
No, because in a second time, one of the Sarah or the other, one of them says how far are you with the preparation? So that's let me think. That's question let me think that is not is it the meeting is the preparation is not ready yet.
Okay, hang on just a second here. 1 second here. So missing.
I think preparation is getting on track, and they already received. They already maybe I'm not correct. They already decide what catering company is being used, and it is within the budget.
Have they made the final choice about the catering company yet? Or are they still deciding?
I think they are all ready to receive a product. Receive
an offer? You mean an offer from
from catering company?
Yes. Yeah, they haven't made the final choice yet, but they've shortlisted it, as we say.
Final choice not yet, but they have received the offer from catering company.
Christian, is everything okay with your connection? Because you disappeared. Are you okay now?
Excuse me, I'm having some connection problems.
Are you okay? Well, you sound good, so maybe everything is okay now.
I think it's all right. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to listen a second time. We're going to listen and read this together, and also follow up on the next. We've just heard the beginning of the meeting. We're talking about some of the details that we've listened to, but what we're going to do now, it says listen again and answer the questions. Instead of listening again, by the way, everything that you've all said is basically correct, so you picked up the general idea, so that's good. But I'm going to give you a chance to actually read it on your own, because I want you also to pick out some of the key language that's being used. So I think it's a good idea that that we actually see the exact wording of things. So as we read this as a group, think about these two questions. What 4 phrases does Sarah use to ask for an update on the project? 4. What 3 phrases do Sarah and Michelle use to clarify the problem with the battery? Think about those. So you've got, what, 4, 5, 6, 7 things to pick out. I'm going to have you actually read it as a class this time, though. We'll try that, because I think you passed the first test, which was just getting the gist. So I'm going to move forward to slide 13. If you can't see it on screen, you can always open it in your computer. If you need the link, just tell me. And, well, Christian, you weren't here, so I want you to read the part of Ian, okay? And Sarah, Adela, and we need a Michelle. Who wants to be Michelle?
I'm Michelle.
You're Sarah.
Christian, Sarah. Okay.
Christian, you're going to read Ian. Okay. Who wants to be Michelle? We need a volunteer for Michelle.
Maybe I try.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody.
I just wanted to open
Jason,
it up.
You try maybe. No.
Oh, I'll let you.
You've been drafted, Yuki. Okay, so we're going to read it a second time and think about those 7 types of expressions we're looking for. Make notes if you have to. Okay. So, Adela, you start us off with Sarah's comments.
Okay, I sent you a proposed agenda yesterday. Have you had a chance to look at it?
I sent, Adele?
I sent.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't hear the T.
Sent.
Good.
Your proposal agenda yesterday. Have you had a chance to look at it?
Yes, it looks fine.
So the purpose of today is to update each other on progress and consider anything that might affect our schedule.
Schedule. One more time. Schedule.
Schedule.
Good.
Okay.
So, Michelle, why don't you start? How are things with the marketing department?
Up to now, the launch date has been set for the 15th of November to capture the Christmas trade. This means we must meet our deadlines.
A good point. So, how the advertisement campaign coming along?
Wait. Campaign, not company.
Campaign.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good point. So, how the advertisement campaign coming along?
That's fine. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. We've set a realistic schedule and planned in a bit of extra time in case the printing takes longer than expected.
Great. And how far are you with preparation for the launch party?
Our events manager says we are on track. We booked the venue 2 weeks ago, and I've already received offers from various catering companies. I haven't made a final choice yet, but most of them are well within our budget.
That sounds good, Michelle. Thanks. So, how does your side of things look, Ian? Ian?
Good.
Well, actually things are not running as smoothly as I'd hoped. We've hit a problem with the handset battery life.
Okay, so what do you mean exactly?
Well, in some cases, the battery can run out in 6 hours, but its key features are in permanent use.
So what you are saying is we are about to launch a new revolutionary low-cost mobile phone, and the battery only lasts 6 hours?
Well, obviously that's an extreme case, but engineers have identified that there is a basic design problem with the battery.
So the real problem lies with the battery manufacturers?
Yes.
But Jan, what about our deadlines? Can this problem be resolved?
Well, our engineers are looking into it, and if it's fixable, they'll do it, but they'll need time. We may have to reschedule.
But we can't postpone the launch at this stage. There must be some things you can do.
Are there any alternative?
Well, I've got some suggestions, but you may not like them.
Ian, you've put us in a difficult position. Why? Don't we get another coffee and then we look at our opinion?
our option.
Oh, poor Jan. Jan is
Ian, you messed up. All right. Let's go back to those questions, and let's see if you're able to pick out. Where was it? Hold on. Wait. There we go. Let's see if you're able to pick out those expressions. Hopefully you took a few notes, but if not, try to do it from memory. What 4 phrases does Sarah use to ask for an update? Let's see how many you can get. And Jason and Giuseppe, you've got to. You were listening, so you should probably pick these out better than all of us. What do you think?
So, how are things with the marketing department?
Good. How are things with X, Y, and Z? That's definitely one. Yeah.
So, how's the advertising campaign. How's the advertising campaign coming along?
How's the X, Y, and Z coming along? Sounds good. Jason, can you give me one too? What did you hear? Uh-oh, Jason is asleep. Are you asleep?
No.
There he is. Okay.
I saw a speak on the how far I heard how far things
That's good, yeah. How far are you with the blah, 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 X, Y, Z? That's one. There's one more. Jason, did you get the last one too? If you're not sure, we'll pass it to someone else.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, there's one more in the text. Who's got it? Giuseppe, do you have one more?
So, how does your side things look?
Very good. That's it. How are things with? How's the X coming along? How far are you with X? How does your side of things look? Those are the 4 phrases that Sarah uses. Very good. What 3 phrases do Sarah and Michelle use to clarify the problem? What 3 phrases do they use to clarify the problem? This is open to the class.
What is the problem exactly? No.
What do you mean exactly?
Exactly.
She said, what do you mean exactly? She said mean instead of problem. But yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you mean exactly? That was 1. Good. There's 2 more. Anyone else?
So what you're saying?
What you are saying?
That's it. So what you're saying is that we're going to have to delay blah, blah, blah. Right. Okay, that's good. That's 2. And there's one last one.
What about the line?
What about? Well, there was something here about the problem, about who's responsible.
Yes, the problem is resolved to the deadline. No, it's the question.
Another opinion, Jason? You were going to say something.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Can this problem be resolved?
Okay, but there was one expression she said about clarifying, right? About clarifying. She said, so the real problem. Yeah, that's it. What's that line?
With
manufacture.
That's it. The problem lies in the sense of is with. They are responsible for it. Okay, so those are the 7 key expressions you need to pay attention to. Jason, could you just read the tips for us? Let's see if this is useful.
Okay. Use things to speak. Ask about situations in general. How are things with you? How does your side of things look? Things aren't running as smoothly as I had hoped.
That's it. So you'll notice in the key expressions, she said, how does your side of things look? So keep that in mind. In other words, try to use this, especially when we do the speaking tasks in this unit. Use it. It's a way to generalize. How are things? So, how are things? Are things running well? We don't know what things they are, but anyway, it sounds good. And it also speeds up your response time because you've got a stock expression you can use anytime you need it. All right. In the next part of the meeting, what you're going to hear, we get the resolution after they've had their coffee. You have to tell me, why didn't Ian like the idea of finding another battery supplier? Why didn't Sarah like the idea of not mentioning the battery life? And which proposal did they finally decide on? Do you prefer to do this as a listening or as a reading class? What do you prefer? I prefer listening because I think it makes you work a little harder. But I'll leave it up to you. Do you prefer to read or do you prefer to listen?
Listening.
One vote for listening?
Maybe let's try first listening.
Okay, 2 votes for listening. We need one more
Me
for
too.
the majority. Are we all okay with that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm experimenting with democracy in this class. I don't know if it'll last, but I'm trying. Okay, give me just a second to go to the listening myself. 1 second, please. One moment. One second. There we go. Okay. All right. So listen first, and then we can always go back. And by the way, if you really want to cheat, just go down to, I think it was slide 14 or 13. I can't remember. Here we go. After their coffee break, Sarah, the battery problem has to be resolved. Otherwise, the whole project is in trouble. That's how I see it. Michelle, is that really the case? How about finding another battery supplier? Ian, I don't think that would help us meet our current deadlines. We could keep the same battery, but not mention its lifespan. Sarah, that's possible, but our reputation is at stake here. Michelle, yes, and if the project fails, we have no chance of becoming market leader. Ian, okay, why don't we wait and see what the technicians suggest, and in the meantime, move the launch date? Michelle, that is not an ideal solution. It means canceling the printers, the caterers, the advertising. Sarah, do we have any other option? Ian, well, using a different phone for the launch would be my proposal. We could use the VP20. It's new, it's cheap, but not as high tech. Michelle, I'm not convinced. The whole idea of this project was to offer a high-tech phone and services at an attractive price. Sarah, yes, if you ask me, we should look at what we can reschedule. Michelle, oh, I suppose so. Why didn't Ian like the idea of finding another battery supplier?
He didn't like the idea of finding another battery supplier because actually the problem is it's difficult to find it's difficult to come up with a solution regarding how to fix the problem in the battery, and is concerned about finding another battery supplier because probably they couldn't meet the requirements of the
Well, they
battery for the.
They couldn't meet what? It's not the requirements, but there's something that they couldn't meet. You're absolutely right about that. What is it that they couldn't meet?
Specification.
Not the specifications. Class? What couldn't they meet? Help him out there. Did anyone catch it? Going once, going twice?
Life cycle, maybe.
More specifically, they couldn't meet.
Battery is already.
No, but in terms of the launch, though, in terms of the launch, what were they going to miss if they got a new supplier?
The deadline.
The deadline, yeah, it wouldn't help them meet the deadline.
The deadline, yes.
So it might help them fix the battery problem, but not in time. That's what Ian mentioned. Okay, why didn't Sarah like the idea of not mentioning the battery life? They could just not say that there's a problem. Why did Sarah have an issue with that? Do you remember what Sarah said? She kind of protested. By the way, you could.
I don't remember. Maybe she proposed to launch another type of telephone. No.
Yeah, it's true. But if you go back here, let me just go back here to cheat a little bit. You can take a look here as well. What was her problem, though? What was her specific what was her reaction to the idea of just not mentioning the battery life? What was her reaction? If you want, take a look here. Skim.
そっか。We'll lose chance to become a market leader. No?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. In other words, she says their reputation is at stake. Does everyone know that expression? Reputation at stake. When something is at stake.
At risk.
At risk. Yeah.
Risk.
At risk means at stake. If there's high stakes, that means there's high risk, but a high payoff too. So playing the stock market is a high stake hobby because you could lose everything, but you could win a lot as well. Okay, very good, very good. And let me just jump back to the last question because I forgot what it was. Hold on. There it is. Which proposal did they finally decide on? Which proposal did they finally decide on at the end?
They finally proposed an idea to use another phone. Oh.
They did talk about it. Yeah, they did talk about it.
Final decision is we should reschedule. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So they talked about many things, but in the end, Sarah says, you could see that on the screen. If you ask me, we should look at what we can reschedule, and Michelle agrees reluctantly. Oh, I suppose so. So she kind of gives in. So yeah, I think that's it. They will look at what they can reschedule, and they'll see how much they can salvage. Because if all the advertising was for this particular launch date, then they have to push it back. It looks bad. Okay, so there you go, everyone. We've listened to 2 parts of a business meeting. By the way, just for Nader, who's joining us now, we've listened to an entire business meeting. We've picked out 7 key expressions. If you go back to part 2, we've picked out 7 key expressions, 4 phrases that Sarah used in the meeting to update on the project, 3 phrases that Sarah and Michelle used to clarify problems. So these are good key expressions. If you want to cheat at any point, just go to slide 12, and I've put all the key expressions there in one place for you. So you can see them written down if you want to cheat and use them in a speaking activity. They're there for you in slide 12. All right? So what we're going to do then is this. I want you to take some of the vocabulary you just heard in 10 and see if you can fill in the blanks. So this is stuff that you heard me read, but then I gave you a chance to kind of skim through it. And you can always go to the very last page, slide 14, if you want to cheat. Cheating isn't cheating if you're learning, so don't worry about that. Look at number 1. We'll just go in any order. Anyone can call out the answers here, okay? Complete the suggestions made by the speakers. Blank another battery supplier. Blank another battery supplier.
Can't we find another battery supplier?
Can't we find another battery supplier? Okay, any other suggestions? I'm not saying it's wrong. It's not wrong. Any other suggestions? How else could we say that? Anyone else?
How about finding another?
Okay, good. So Nader is right. We could say that. Can't we find another? In the listening that we just did, the exact expression was, how about? How about finding another battery supplier? Okay? Both of those fit. So as long as it makes sense, it's okay. You can say whatever you want as long as it makes sense in the context. Number 2, blank. Keep the same battery but not mention its lifespan.
We could.
We could is correct. We could keep the same battery but not mention the lifespan. So that's making a suggestion, isn't it? These are all making suggestions. Okay? C. Blank and see what the suggestions, what the technicians suggest.
Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see makes perfect sense. Let's wait and see. What's a suggestion?
Why don't we wait and see what
Okay,
the
very good.
suggest?
In the listening, the exact words were, why don't we? Why don't we wait and see?
Why don't we?
That's it. Why don't we wait and see? Let's wait and see. Why don't we wait and see? Both of them sound good here. In D, using a different phone for the launch, blank. You've got to try to complete the sentence now. Remember, this is a suggestion. You're making a suggestion.
Would be my suggestion.
Okay? Someone else said something
Would
too?
be my proposal. Sorry.
Would be my proposal, right. Was there another idea? I heard someone else speaking. No?
Using a different phone for the launch date may be a risk for our business.
Okay, right, but that's not a suggestion. Right. It fits, but here, if we're making a suggestion, we need some word that's a synonym of the word suggestion. So Yuki, remembering the listening, said it would be my proposal. That's actually what was said. But any synonym of the word suggestion would probably be okay. For example, using a different phone for the launch would be the best option. Using the phone would be my proposal. Using the phone for the launch, a different phone for the launch, could be a way out of the problem. So any of those could be a suggestion. Okay, very good so far. Good listening skills. E, blank. Look at what we can reschedule. Blank. Look at what we can reschedule.
We should.
We should look at what we can reschedule. Good, but that's a conditional. Can you remember the first part of the condition? You're right about the second.
If
Say
you
again.
We should look at what we can.
There we go. If you ask me, we should look at what we can reschedule. So there's a conditional. Is that the first, the second, or the third conditional? The zero, first, second, or third conditional? Do you know the name of that conditional?
It's a second conditional.
You're correct. Because?
Because it's a 50% of possibility.
Because of the word should.
Yes.
Because of the word should.
There is should.
Yeah. So the shortcut is would, could, should, might are all second conditional words. Will, can, may, shall are all first conditional words. First conditional is about the future. Second conditional is about the present, a hypothetical present. In other words, the result is in the present. The condition is in the past, the result in the present in the second conditional. If I won the lottery yesterday, I would buy a yacht today. So the result's in the present, but it's hypothetical. It's the unreal conditional. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. In part 2, it asks us, what do the speakers say to respond to each of the suggestions in number 1? Oh, this is a little more difficult. So I'll give you the suggestion. You tell me what you remember the response to be. A was, how about finding another battery supplier? Does anyone recall the response?
That's a great... Oh, sorry.
By the way, I was just going to say, if you want to cheat, don't forget, you can read the transcript on slide 14 if you want to cheat. And you're not cheating as long as you're learning, so you're not really cheating. So again, how about finding another battery supplier?
That's a great idea, but I don't think we have much time.
That's not what was said.
Sorry.
It makes sense, but it's not what was said.
So we have to use what you have listened to.
Yeah, because what I want to do is pick out the key expressions.
I think Ian said, I don't think that would help us meet our current deadlines.
Correct. Correct. That was Ian's response. I don't think that would help us. Okay? And B, we could keep the same battery, but not mention its lifespan. What was the reaction to that?
That's possible.
That's possible, but
But our reputation is at stake here.
Very good. Reputation is at stake. And C, why don't we wait and see what the technicians suggest? No one?
ちょっと待って。Just a minute.
No one?
Yes,
Really?
that's not an ideal solution.
That's not in. Listen, ideal. Repeat, ideal.
Ideal.
Ideal with an L. Ideal.
Ideal.
Okay, good. You can prolong the L a little bit because if you say it short, it sounds like idea. So you've got to kind of prolong the ending. Idea, ideal. Idea, ideal. Can you say those two words for me?
Idea, ideal.
Okay, that's better, yeah. So you've got to kind of pronounce the L, otherwise people might think you're saying the wrong word. That's it. And that's correct. That's not an ideal solution. One of the girls says that. I can't remember who. In D, using a different phone for the launch would be my proposal. What was the reaction?
I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced. That's right. And the last one, E, if you ask me, we should look at what we can reschedule, Sarah says.
Oh, I suppose so.
Yeah, but she's saying it with some reticence. I suppose so. I mean, in other words, she doesn't want to do it, but she kind of gives in. She's conceding a point. I suppose so. Reluctantly.
He answered.
Exactly. She's being reluctant there. Okay. So the purpose of this exercise is not just saying what could fit, but using the exact key expressions so that you can use them yourself. They'll be fresh in your memory. You know they sound good because this is from native speakers. All right? And now that they're fresh in your memory, you have to look at a situation. It's 2 days before the launch of a new tech tariff phone. Student A, well, that's going to be all of us. You are Michelle. Student B, you are Ian. Use the information below and update each other on the progress of the project. Make sure you A, clarify any information you're not sure about, and B, make and respond to suggestions as necessary. Okay, the information that we're talking about is on the next page. So student A is going to be Giuseppe and Jason on slide, looks like slide 10. Student B is actually going to be Yuki and Nader on slide 11. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do the whole thing. Should we give it a shot? I can go over time a little bit if we need it. Should we give it a shot, or do you want to hold off until tomorrow? Because we've only got about 5 minutes left. What do you think?
That's okay for me.
Yes, we can give it a shot, I
Okay.
guess.
Give it a shot? Okay.
Yes, please.
So let's do it. So you can there, you're going to read the information on B. You got your launch date to-do list. Jason and Giuseppe. A on slide 10. Okay? And when you're ready, just let me know.
Ready.
So, sorry. Because I am using my mobile phone, so I cannot read without your. If you do not share
Back on
the
screen.
slide.
It's back on screen. There you go.
So I'm student B.
That's right. You and Yuki are sharing student B. That's right. Okay, so look through your launch date to-do list. Look through it. Okay, Nader, can you see it?
Yes. Can you make it bigger?
I'm trying. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, how about that?
Okay, now it's better. Yes.
Okay, read through that quickly
Bring
and tell me when you're ready. We'll-
Amvicon.
Avicon is the name of one of their companies that they're working with. So it's like one of their partners, I believe. Jason, you read the context. That's one of their partners, wasn't it?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah?
What I'm supposed to read? Because,
You're reading slide 10.
uh,
Do you have the PDF open in your computer?
yes.
Okay.
Slide 10.
Slide 10.
Yeah.
You and Giuseppe are slide 10, and I'm putting this on screen for Nader because he's using a mobile. Okay?
So all I need to do is reading this to-do list?
You need to read through it so we can have the meeting. Okay? So I think our meeting is falling apart here. I think we're going to run out of time. Did everyone have a chance? Did everyone have a chance to read their to-do list?
So tomorrow is okay for me, no problem.
Well, we can. Yeah, because we're really running out of time. We're running out of time. I think there's some confusion. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this because I'm also going to have to start a class. Let's do this. Okay, let's pick up with the meeting in the very first part of class. Okay, I will send you a link. Even though you have the link here, I will send it again through the message system. Read through. Come to class, everyone, tomorrow, so we can have the same people. Read through your files. All right, and we're going to have a short business meeting. If we've got extra people, they're going to be advisors who can give us an opinion. But you four, are going to be presenting the to-do lists, and we're going to have to reach a conclusion by the end of the meeting. Remember, our goal is to use the key expressions for suggesting and clarifying. And if you want to see a list of those, just go to slide, what slide is it? I think it's slide 12. Let me just double check. Yeah, go to slide 12 for a master list of all the key expressions that we've looked at so far. Okay? So, I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, it's taking a little long. So, in the very beginning of class, we're going to start with our meeting. We'll go as long as we need to. And at the end of class, we've got a short practically speaking exercise where we'll try to look at some of the key words in language we'll use in a very particular, how a native speaker would use it in a practical way in a particular situation. All right? So we'll prepare for the meeting. We'll have it tomorrow at the same time, 11 GMT, and I'll be, wait, tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
Is everyone going to be here on Friday?
I'd glad to join the class.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Is everyone else going to be here on Friday? I need to know, because if you are, I'm going to change the class because I scheduled a different class.
Yes.
That's a yes from all four. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Nader, yes.
Probably.
For Friday, yes. Tomorrow you'll be here. Yes. Nader.
Sorry, I can come earlier tomorrow if.
Not earlier, just the same time.
No, because at the same time I may not be available at the same time. So, do you have any earlier classes?
Yes.
Tomorrow?
1 hour earlier.
1 hour earlier is okay for me.
So listen, everyone. Would it be okay if we do the speaking part in either that or we have to wait till Monday? I don't know if it's worth waiting.
Oh, I suppose so. Okay.
Monday, no problem for me.
I'd glad to.
So Monday, that's our agreement then?
Yes.
Okay, Monday.
Yeah? All right.
Monday is okay for me.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to do hot topics. I have some ideas for hot topics, but if there's a particular hot topic in the news that you'd like to talk about, send me a suggestion through the message system, and I'll see if I can prepare something. I have some ideas, but I like to get student input. I don't want to be the only one picking the topics. So think about that and let me know. We'll pick up on this at 11 GMT on Monday, and we'll complete our meeting then. Okay? Bye for now, everyone. Have a great weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. But I will see you tomorrow, right?
Yes.
We hope so.
All right. Bye for now. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.